Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Ireland trip. In our last video, we arrived in Dublin at 5:30 a.m. We picked up a rental car for a few hours, and then we found a place to have a full Irish breakfast, minus the black pudding. We toured the Guinness storehouse and had our first local Guinness. After that, we picked up our camper van. We spent our first night in Wicklow Mountains and hiked some of the trails. Then later, we drove into the town of Bray to find a pub to eat at. Haven't seen it? You may want to start by watching episode number 1. Today we're walking through the Irish National Heritage Park and driving to Kilkenny. We hope you enjoy this video.
Hey guys, here we are, we're over at the Irish
National Heritage Park.
Yeah, there you go, Irish National Heritage Park. And we're going to go walk around, discover what we can see, and check it all out. You guys can come along for the ride. Alright, here we go. National Heritage Park. Go check out all these different things. All those different things to see. Here we go. Ready?
Ready.
Oh. Let's go inside one of these. What's it like in here? You gotta get way down low. Get your big shoulders through here.
The thatch is thick.
Thatched roof. It's tiny in here. That's what they used to sleep in and cook and clean. Inside this one. Same deal. Here, you want to take it?
There's some fish in here drying. This one's taller. Alright, back out we go.
Alright, these are the first farmers, according to this. It's a cool buildings though, much cooler than the first ones. Oh, there's one. They got a loft. Check it out. I'll go up there. Maybe. It's crazy. attic access up there. Is this a 2-story?
Oh yeah. Oh, this is the barn.
This is the barn. I see.
Maybe not.
Yeah, this is like their workshop.
This is really cool. I like this.
Looks like they're cleaning some fish, getting ready for it to hang and dry it. Got some stuff up there. Alright. Covered front porch. What? There's a dead guy in there? Crushed him and put him in there. We're about to walk up on a stone bench. Maybe there's a ritual going on. We'll have to see. What do we see here?
These are being built in Ireland all the way through the Bronze Age, the Iron Age and the early medieval period. So anywhere from about 1500 BC up to about 700 AD, these are quite common in this country. There's about 47,000 of them that are confirmed to be from the Iron Age and early medieval period. There's possibly a further 120,000 of them out there as well. They're literally everywhere. It's guaranteed you drove past at least 12 of them to get here today. Now, as you can see, they're very defensive. They're quite often built on hills or on mounds. They have a ditch or a dry moat which encircles the enclosure. You've got another bank of earth, and on top of that's the palisade or fence of oak that goes all the way around. And there's a watchtower here over the gate. Now, they don't all have watchtowers, only the really posh ones did, to be honest. But this entire structure was built for just one farming family. It's at this time we have a cattle culture in Ireland. So since about 1500 BC in the Bronze Age, cows are money in Ireland. The best way to make more money was to steal cows from somebody else. So cat raiding is our national pastime. Now we don't have like an active harvest taking place, we have a raiding season. So during these raiding seasons, if you look out up in the watchtower, if they spot enemies coming, they're going to sound the alarm, and then it's up to the farmer and the family and their slaves to get the cows out of the fields as quickly as possible and get them inside here to safety. And that's really the whole point of these structures. And inside we have two main buildings. On the right is the farmer's home or the family home, and on the left is a dairy. That's like a pantry where they work making butter and cheese. They also be drying fish and curing meats and stuff inside there as well. And the farmer's house is available to rent out as accommodation. You can stay overnight here in the park. They had no interest in replacing the existing pagan religion of Ireland with this new Christianity. Instead, they wanted to combine the two religions together and form what we now call Celtic Christianity. So the longest lasting symbol of this combination is found in every Celtic cross. They've got a circle around them. That circle represents the pagan sun god, whose name is Lugh, or Lugh. His big festival is Lunasa, which is what we call August nowadays. These symbols together, that was a way to bridge the gap between us. Now, the biggest selling point of Christianity in Ireland was that no longer human sacrifices were required. That's pretty much top of the list. After that, Crusades saying to everybody, just keep doing what you always did, you know, keep going to the wet places where you made your offerings before, keep making offerings there. We'd slap a crucifix on it, we'd give it a saint's name. A couple of generations later, that'll become a Christian activity. Here is the high ground, or the holy ground, kind of like the literal moral high ground. And this was an area that was just for monks. Regular people were not allowed up there at all. So that's where we have the chapel. Now the chapel is where the monks would pray 9 times every single day. Their prayer times are dictated by the sundial here, which is marked out with those prayer periods. And ordinary people were actually allowed to hear mass, but were not allowed into the chapel. People of all religions are welcome. They're going to come together here for trade and commerce, but also education. People would travel from all over Ireland to be educated within monasteries, and that's because it was quicker and it was easier, and sometimes it was cheaper to be educated in a monastery than it was to do in the traditional pagan ways, which are still operating at this time. So in the pagan tradition, you had sort of 2 routes to education. So you could become a fila, or a bard, or a poet, or you could become a druid. Now if you wanted to be a fila, that would take 12 solid years of training. If you wanted to be a druid, it took 25. Life expectancy is about 35 to 40. That's a massive investment of time either way. It was much quicker, much easier to come to a monastery and learn here instead, provided you could afford it. So people could come here and travel to buildings like this one, which is the scriptorium, which is like a schoolhouse where they learn how to read, how to write, they learn languages like Latin and Greek and Arabic, they learn mathematics as well. And the monks also use the scriptoria to write books. So at this point we have no printing presses. If you want to copy the book, you got to physically copy it by hand. And these are mostly copies of the Bible. So books like the Book of Kells, for example, would also be produced inside scriptoria like this one. Although I can guarantee the Book of Kells is written in a fancier book. Now the next one down here then is the abbot itself, and the abbot is the head monk. He's the leader of the monastery, so as such he got the best digs, you know, got his own bed, got his own fireplace, living the dream, you know, he's there with his own family. The rest of the monks could stay inside a big building like this one, and it's called the refectory. Now the refectory is set up as a kind of a common house. It's where the monks will hold meetings and eat their meals. In a small monastery like this, it could double up as a dormitory for sleeping inside as well. Bigger monasteries would have separate dormitories, but the building would look pretty much like this one does. And the final building we have down here is this stone one. It's called the beehive cell, or plafond. Now a beehive cell is a living area for monks as well, but we only get these in the west of Ireland. So this one is just here as an example. Now we get them in the west because in that part of Ireland stone was always the most available building material. Everything was made from stone. So when it came to building these, they didn't use any cement or mortar of any kind. They built them using a dry stone walling process called corbelling. And there are great examples of these still standing. The best ones are found on Skellig Michael. This tour are they look pretty small to be honest, but they both thin around grain. Okay, so this is called the corn drying kiln, and it's kind of like an oven for drying grains like wheat and barley. So when we say corn nowadays, you tend to think of sweet corn, you know, that's maize. And the Irish people referred to corn. That was their collective term for all cereals and water sources. So our mill ponds up here, this is our sluice gate or a water gate that manages water flow that comes out of this man-made tunnel where it exits below. Now, when the gate is open, water rushes down here at a really high pressure. This pushes the blade and that turns the cornstone into the grinding stone inside the house. So you can see we have our 2 big cornstones inside here. But the one on top is the one that turns, the bottom one is fixed in place. Hanging over that we have our hopper where we put our wheat or our barley, and that will fall into a hole in the centre of the top stone. And it gets ground up between the stones, and the centrifugal force, with the force of the spinning, is going to throw all the ground up flour around the outside where it lands in a pen. So you can pick it up with shovels, you put it in sacks, you take it away. That's basically how they work, you know.
Is it the water that causes that to turn?
Yep. Causes the top one to turn.
Right.
And the grain will go in the hopper up above and then drop down in, go inside those little holes, go down into the bottom and then grind up, and it would shoot out the side, he said. This would be a king's banquet hall. That's what the guy just said. We'll catch up with the tour in a minute, but this would be where a king would make a show of his money and wealth of building something like this.
I like this table over here. It's like fit to the wall.
Yeah? like huts. Everywhere there's huts.
This is the longship. We're currently preparing this to become part of a ship burial display as we're building up this mound of earth around it. But it's standing inside a shipyard that would be typically used for the building and repair of a ship of this size. Smaller shipyards like this will be working on smaller vessels.
And they're burning peat or bog. I believe it is, because that's what it looks like.
Around the side here we got a little general purpose work area.
Oh yeah. The gutter system to keep the rain from just flooding. Oh, this is a longhouse?
Is a Type 1 longhouse. Now, a Type 1 longhouse is the most common type found in Ireland.
4 and 16, family of 4 and 16. You just pile your kids up along here. Say goodnight.
Wow. Got a duck everywhere. Yeah, house with a view though. Pretty cool, huh? Can you imagine staying in here for the night?
No.
Cozy.
Stay the night here.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You can rent it.
Yeah.
Shipyard down below, or here right now. So the river swoops around and Wexford town is about here. Now this is where Ferry Carrick Bridge is today, and the N11 to Dublin travels along like this. That's what you can hear behind you right now. Now that did not exist until the 1980s. Up until then, this was one continuous cliff face that was known as Carrick or the Rock. Have a great day, enjoy the sunshine that's in it, and yeah, we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
So we were able to find a nice little campervan park right in the middle of Kilkenny. It included fresh water and black tank disposal, and it only cost us $10 for the night. This made it possible to walk through the shops and over to Kilkenny Castle. This sign was put up the day that we arrived just to keep the riffraff out. No permit was actually needed. You may be wondering how I found such great overnight parking. Well, I downloaded a free app called Park for Night. It was super helpful in researching where to stay, as well as finding last-minute places as we were led by the fairies. We sure hope y'all enjoyed this video as we walked through the Irish National Heritage Park. Please check out our next video as we explore Kilkenny Castle and walk around the Rock of Cashel. See you soon!